We are live. Initiating. Let me see here. Home. And we're live. Welcome, 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 everyone. I'm going to come in here and welcome to my first paranormal stream back. I am proud to be back on my paranormal, which I've done last year. Let me go ahead and link this person so he can watch. Today, paranormal series is based on the Ackley House, which is, I will put it up here in just a second. Let me see here. Share my screen. Come on. Do it. That right there is the famous Ackley House. Now, the history of the house, Mattman. How's it going, Mattman? I tried to send you a link, but I'm doing my paranormal today. Thank you. Okay. Sure. Okay. There we go. Okay. It's a Victorian home, which is uh, haunted. It is actually legally haunted, to be precise. And this is the first time I've ever seen a legally haunted house. The house in question is the Acklet House, which is located in 1 La Vita Place in Nyack, New York. Make it smaller. Hey, Mr. Lantern, welcome. Okay. And it's one party to the Seminole trial, Stambowski versus Ackley. Consequently, referred to as the Ghostbusters ruling. Now, I'm going to continue on. Now, question for everybody. this out. No problem, Mr. Lantern, no problem. Now, and just how haunted does a house have to be for a court to recognize it? We're going to find out. A little history of the home. La Vida Place is especially coveted cul-de-sac in the commuter town of Nyack. Built in 1890, the three-story clapboard Victorian at number 1 is constructed of horizontal wood paneling and is set back behind a front lawn elevated above the river with gorgeous views from it from every room and window. Now, it features a charming turret, a picturesque wraparound porch, and a fenced-in pool. Let me put these other pictures up because I want you to see what it looks like. I've never have either, Matt. Man, this is interesting. I never have either. Let me find this picture here. I think it's under downloads. Nope, I'm gonna find the picture. Give me just a second. That's the picture right there coming up. I've never heard of it. This is interesting. It has a fenced-in pool. Inside, there are 8 bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms. Now that's a lot of bathrooms, people. That's a lot of bathrooms. I know I just found that. Okay, there we go. Pull this up. While it pulls it up, I'm going to keep reading. But despite the spaciousness of the home, the home was designed to feel homey and comforting, with nooks and intimate, smaller spaces carved out of larger rooms throughout. Now, this is a picture I'm going to put up of the house inside. Some of them has plate glass windows. Okay, here we go. Here. Yep. Now this is inside the house. That's inside the house. Now, keep reading. A little bit of the more of the haunting part of it. La Vida isn't the site of any highly publicized murders or tragedies. Instead, rumors of ghosts have been traced back to a mid 1970s Reader's Digest article called Our Haunted House on the Hudson, written by the resident Helen Ackley, wife of George Ackley, and mother of 4 now adult children. In it, she wrote about the family many ghost roommates while they lived there in the home. Both parents have experienced some hauntings. Most notably, George swears he saw a pair of disembodied moccasin-clad feet walk by him from the hallway above the staircase he was standing in, while Helen witnessed a man emerge in colonial or Revolutionary War attire while she was repainting the entryway. The daughter, Cynthia, who was in high school at the time, was awakened daily by something shaking her bed until she politely asked the room to let her sleep in. Now, what may sound alarming to most people was actually welcomed by the Ackley. They felt as though the spirits were friendly, so they grew to consider them part of the family. But even before they moved in, the neighborhood children believed the house was haunted, saying, "Lady, do you know you just bought a haunted house, right?" When Helen first arrived. I'm hoping we'll come in. Fast forward till today. I'm sorry, fast forward till 1989, about 25 years after the Ackleys moved in to One La Vita Place, and 15 years after the article was printed, solidifying its haunted reputation, and Helen was ready to downsize. So she decided to list the house with Richard Ellis from Ellis Realty. The home was listed at just under 800,000, and Helen was thrilled when the young couple, Jeffrey and Patricia Strombowski, was able to get the contract underway. Now, we're going to go on to here. If y'all remember, I said something about the Ghostbusters ruling. But I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. Yep, it is. Okay. What is the Ghostbusters ruling? Because the interactions weren't properly documented, we never know for sure that the Strombowskis did or did not learn about through Helen and Ellis. Regardless, Helen was notified that the Strombowskis wanted to pull out after she received the down payment and filed an action against her for fraudulently misrepresenting a material condition of the home. In other words, she didn't mention ghosts. Strombowskis also argued that all of Helen's strokes devalued the property, but the court initially dismissed the complaint and said that Helen did not have a duty to disclose the haunted house stories to the Strombowskis. Okay, so let me go here. Basically, she didn't tell nobody. So what became of the home? One La Vida Place was since changed hands frequently, with Ellis saying maybe it was because of the energy here. Considering that was unusual for a property like this to change hands so frequently, it's almost like another one that I'm going to talk to a little bit more. Um, that said, none of the owners have reported any ghosts, some of which have been notable public figures. In the late 1990s, filmmaker Adam Brooks, who co-wrote the screenplay for The Prodigal Magic, lived in it. After him, Ingrid Mitchelson lived in it till she sold it in 2015, and which point the house was listed for 1.9 million. She did not blame the ghost for leaving, and in fact, never mentioned anything about paranormal nature. So, with that being said, I don't know what's going on. It does. Hey, Wolf. Now I'm going to talk about another house. And a lot of people are familiar with it. Pull it up here. Now, this one, I know for a fact that Wolf knows about this house. Okay, let's see. Come on. It's doing it's just taking a minute. Okay. Wolf, I think you know where I'm going with this one. Okay. This house right here. This, people that y'all may not know, is the famous Amityville house. It is now the address. It's 112 Ocean Avenue. Okay. Now, this house has been changed. It has, you notice the two little windows up there? Looks like ice, right? This house has been changed. The address has been, okay. That's the old house. Okay. I'm gonna put up the new house. It's a new picture up here. Just a second. Now, the new house. I don't know why that's there. Okay. They will not show it on Google. You're absolutely right, Wolf. The house has been changed. Now get a load of this. The house is, it had been blacked out of Google Maps. It's blurred. The address has been changed. The whole look of it has been changed. And I'll pull that up here shortly. I've got pictures of the inside. Wolf knows I do. But I will, just a second. I'm just wondering, I understand why they changed it. But if I'm right, there's one son that's living over the Lutzes. Let me see if I can pull this up. You would not believe it. From what I gather, okay, share my screen. This is interesting. Need two of them, I don't think. pull that up again. Something's not acting right. Come on now. Come on. But yeah, they will not show it on Google at all. Okay. Put my picture up again. There we go. Okay, the new address of the Amityville house is 108 Ocean View. Why they changed it? Because of I'm wanting to say the people that live there now want their privacy. And you can't blame them. Okay, that's going to be up in a minute. But you're right, Wolf. And the sheriff, they called the sheriff there, and the sheriff thought it was a hoax. The sheriff thought it was a hoax. Which I don't believe it is, but come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Why is it not showing? Oh, it's showing. It'll take a minute. But anyway, it sold for, I'm bringing it up. I can't remember. I think it's uh, in 2007. It sold for $605,000. Can you imagine that? Yeah. Oh yeah. $605,000. Now, Ronnie retracted his thing, saying it was a hoax, that he said everything was a hoax. But how could it be a hoax if it happened? You know? Okay. Kind of waiting to see if my picture comes up. If not, I'll have to do it this way. Now, I'm going to find on my channel in a little bit that interview we did. You remember that, Wolf? I'm going to actually play the interview. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on just a second. Because I know it's there. Don't need that. But yeah, I done an interview of Chris McKinnell. He was there at that house. Now, Wolf, the other interview. You remember that McKinnell interview? I'm going to play that. You know, because my picture's not coming up. And I'm not understanding why YouTube is being this way for. But give me just a second. I'm going to turn YouTube back on. And I'm going to find the interview. So, I want y'all to hear the, coming from the grandson. Because the interview, oh, oh yeah, it'll get you. Just, yep. It explains the Annabelle doll. It explains the Conjuring house. Well, I'll let you hear from his own voice what I'm going to do. So here, here. It takes a minute, bear with me. But they changed the address, changed the whole look of the house. It's on my channel. If I can't find it, go check my channel. It's there. This is interesting. This is interesting. I'm just wondering why they did it. Other than that, it shows the. There we go. Hold on. I'll find. I'll get the picture for you. You're gonna be like, dude, what? Okay. That's the first. The top is the first beginning. Back when the murders, back when the hauntings happened. And the bottom one is the complete leftover. They fixed the windows. You notice the look. They put siding on the house. It looks completely different now. Now, what I'm going to do, come on, find that. I want to find that interview and play it. Because it opens people's eyes to the paranormal. One thing he did not like, which he did not like the selling of Ouija boards in stores. But here we go. Get it going here. I remember wholeheartedly. And I'm going to tell you, I was honored. I was honored. But let's see if I can find it here. YouTube is going a little slow today, which is fine. It was Wolf. It's not the doll from the movie. The doll from the movie is a ceramic doll. The original Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll. And a lot of people don't understand that. And the actual doll is in the museum. Me, I had chicken bites, roasted chicken bite meal. But yeah. Oh yeah. Let me try and get this pulled up. I don't know what's up with YouTube today. It's being slow. You would think that, oh yeah, you would think they could use the original doll in the movie instead of the ceramic doll. But get my channel brought up. There we go. My channel. But I don't want y'all to listen to me. I want you to listen to the guy that was there. Let me find it. It takes a while. I know I got it. Let me see here. Spooky Sunday. That's not it. Okay. Gaming. No. Mystical creatures. No. Uh, uh, nope. Give me just a second, guys. Let me see. It's way back, people. But it's there on my channel. Let's see here. Okay. God, it's been, well, this has been a while back, people. I can't believe I've been, I know I got it. Let me see here. Channel shout out. I know it's there. Yep, I know it's here. I just gotta locate it. It's been a while. Where's the missing? There it is. Guys, y'all gonna be excited on this one. And I will play it. So let's share my screen here. Okay. I'm gonna mute so it'll play. Come on now. Bear with me, guys. It'll happen. Here we go, guys. Bear with me. Me too, Wolf. Me too. I'm gonna pause my microphone, guys. What in the wrong with it? Cause I know it's there. I done the interview with Miss D. You remember that, Wolf? Now, any other time if I didn't need this, it'd work. Didn't need this, it worked. Come on. Okay, I know where I'm gonna get it. Hold on. Come on. It's gotta be on Miss D's channel. You think, Wolf? Oh, it was a while back. I hope the video is still up. Come on, good God. Okay. There we go. Let me check, Wolf. I hope not. I hope at least not that one. Because I know I got that one. But if I have to, I'll try to get it on mine. But and he was there at the Amityville house. So yeah. Chris McKenna was there at the Amityville house. So bear with me. YouTube. There we go. I'm going to try again, people. Because I know it works. Go back here. Let me see. There we go.
See, are we live yet? Yes, we are. Hello, hello, hello. Oh my goodness. It seems like for it seems like forever since I've gone live on this channel. And like Wolfden said, it's been like a century. But I'm happy to be on here, and I brought some friends along with me today. Mr. James Parker, aka Sorry Phoenix. Hello. And sorry,
tonight we're gonna have some fun. Okay, we're gonna leave all the drama on YouTube and all the drama that's going on in the world right now. Just leave it outside and just have some fun and good conversation.
Bear with me, guys. I don't know how to do this.
We're all going through this pandemic right now. I hope that everybody's taking the time to check in.
I hope that
there we go.
Just making sure everybody's okay, and most importantly, definitely making sure you stay good. So, but we're not gonna talk.
Can y'all hear that? Okay.
Another stream, another day. Me and Morticia will be going live. We'll be going live on her channel this weekend. So make sure you stay tuned to Ackley Truthers. That's the management page. And we'll be updating the day and time we'll be going live to just catch up with everybody. So, hey, what's going on?
But got a question for you.
What question do you have?
What do you think about when I mentioned the name Ed and Lorraine Warren?
What comes?
Think of?
What do I think about? What comes to my mind? I would say, paranormal royalty, world renowned, the best at their craft. The mom and pop of the things that go bump in the night. You know what I'm saying? And if people don't know of that name, they probably live under a rock. But that's okay. That's okay. We're not going to beat you up because you live under a rock. I'll try to shed a little light on who Lorraine and Ed Warren are. So Ed Warren was a demon. Lorraine was a clairvoyant and medium. Okay, they founded the New England Society for Psychic Research in 1952. They were paranormal investigators who helped a lot of people and were involved in thousands, okay, of thousands of cases. And according to their wiki, if I read it correctly, over 10,000 paranormal cases they were involved in. They authored several over 10,000 paranormal cases they were involved in. They authored several books like The Hunted. Now, Ed and Lorraine Warren were portrayed in movies such as The Conjuring, Annabelle Comes Home, Haunting in Connecticut, and now sadly Ed Warren passed away in 2006, and then Miss Lorraine Warren passed away in April of 2019. And all the things that they've done for for the people they have helped, and everything they started, and everything they gave to the paranormal community, their legacy does not end there. Okay, it is being carried on by Chris McKenna, who is not only the director and chairman of the Warren Legacy Foundation for Paranormal Research, but also the grandson of Ed and Lorraine Warren. And we are privileged to be joined by him tonight. So let me go ahead and do the blue screen. Welcome, Chris.
Okay, Chris. Hi, thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming.
All right. And by the way, if background noise gets to be a problem, please let me know.
You turn this up a little bit.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. So go ahead, James. Go ahead. So, what was it like growing up with Ed and Lorraine Warren as your grandparents?
It does, Don Wolf.
I know you probably get that question all the time.
Yeah, I do. And,
You get that, man.
it was, my grandmother was, that's the most grandmotherly person you could possibly hope for.
Yeah.
You know, much to me that, yeah, they also went out and did the Amityville horror and stuff like that. My grandfather, he was, you gotta know something about my grandfather. The movies don't quite get him right.
Yeah.
He was a World War II veteran, age joined the Marines when he was 16, got kicked out because, of course, he was too young. But when he turned 17, he was in the Navy, and he was doing supply runs back and forth to Britain and dodging the wolf pack, and he was in Japan. I mean, he was kind of a hero. So it was pretty great, actually. When I was young, they would take me on lecture tours with them. Heck, we went to haunted houses and would check them out. It was just family. It wasn't something that ever occurred to me as being strange, except, of course, at school where I was the weird kid because, your grandparents are ghost hunters.
Right. It was just normal to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you said that he joined the Navy at 16?
Yes. When he was 17.
And was kicked out?
No, that was the Marines when he was 16.
Oh, the Marines. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, he was in a hurry.
I know I was reading a little bit about I think over on TonyPero.com, I think it was, when they were talking about how your grandparents had met and how your grandmother she knew that she was going to be, basically spending the rest of her life with your grandfather. It was really nice to read about that.
Yeah, he was working in a movie theater as an usher, and she had come in with a couple of girlfriends, and he, being the playboy gigolo that he wanted to be, he invited them out for soda. After my grandmother wanted instead of 5 cents soda, she wanted the 15-cent malt. But as they were saying goodnight, he was crossing the street, and all of a sudden she got this image of him as a middle-aged man, and she knew that was the man she was going to spend the rest of her life with.
Wow. And and your grandmother, Miss Lorraine Warren, she was realized her gifts early on, right? Like when she was really young.
Yeah, she was at St. Charles Catholic School, which I also went to, so did my mother. And they were planting a tree for Arbor Day. And she saw the tree full grown and mentioned it to a nun, and the nun said, "That's not something we ever talk about." So she learned early to not tell people.
Yeah. Wow. What kind of, because I'm pretty sure you had a lot of experiences over the years, what kind of experiences have you had, and do you continue to have experiences as far as like the paranormal?
I've been doing this for 40 years now, since I was 16 years old. 39. But I've seen it all. Possession, of course, poltergeist cases, spontaneous fires. I've been picked up and lifted above the stairs in the Schmerl home in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. Miss Schmerl wrapped me, as did my assistant, pulled me in out of thin air so that I didn't get her down the stairs. Another time I was in a house and with my cousin. It was a house we had finished with 2 years earlier. We were just visiting the family, and they invited us to spend the night, and we were sharing a bed and a sleeping bag. And he was complaining that I was kicking the bed, and so I'm not kicking the bed. And all of a sudden, the bed picked up, flew across the room, slammed down, broke into pieces, and he just went out of his mind. He was so
It is, ain't it, Wolf?
I was laughing. Yeah. Wow, that was cool.
Oh gosh, I don't know what I probably would have been too scared to even move. Okay, I have no idea what I would have done. That's crazy. James, do you have some questions?
Well, have you had any attachment?
Have I personally? No. I do know how to protect myself, and I do it every single time. That is something that I cannot stress enough, because so many people get involved in this without truly understanding what they're doing. And, they go out and try to do EVPs, they download these apps on their phones, or they go out and buy $5,000 spirit boxes.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is your phone and your recorder on your phone, or even an old tape recorder. Because if something wants to communicate, it will manipulate the energy and communicate with you. Stop wasting your money on equipment that you don't need.
Yeah.
But the problem with spirit communication is it's such a slippery slope, because you could say the wrong thing, and without even knowing you've done it, you open the door and allow this thing to attach to you. So I strongly recommend that people don't do that. And a lot of my colleagues do. I respect them. I respect their abilities, and I respect the fact that they know what they're doing. But there are a lot of innocent people out there who want to do this because they see it on television, they see it on the internet, and they really don't know what they're getting into. For instance, this is the way I put it.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't watch an episode of ER and then go out and try to do surgery. So please,
Right.
Yeah.
get together with people who know what they're doing and learn from them. Don't try it on your own. And make sure whoever you're with is reputable. Personally, I recommend you go through our network because we've got a worldwide network and we're out there to help people.
So it could be dangerous because if you know, just like you just explained, it could turn bad really fast. And
Absolutely.
you know, get people up there who just like you said, they get interested and then they open up a can of worms. That was actually one question that I had for you, but you answered it. So
And you know, it's not that they don't have good intentions. I'm not saying that they're not stupid or anything. It's just they don't know. And because, for instance, you know, you can have 10 different families live in a house and never have a problem. And then that one family moves in and it's the right family. It's the perfect storm. You don't know if you're that one person who goes into the graveyard with your tape recorder, you know, what have you. If you're the one that's going to make that connection. It's why Ouija boards or seances or automatic writing or any form of spirit communication is dangerous because you don't know if you're going to connect with them.
right. Or who you might even connect with, you know. I've heard a lot of talk
Exactly.
about.
I mean, all the time they try to. A negative entity will often appear in the most innocent guise at first because they want to first create the attachment. Once they've got the attachment, that's when they turn dark because they feed off of negative energy like a vampire and they are trying to use as little energy as they can to get as much energy from you as they can. So they're going to find you so that you hear a bump in the night and you're going to assume it's that spirit when it's probably a squirrel or something falling off a tree. But because you're throwing out so much negative energy, so much fear or anger or whatever, or anxiety, you're feeding this entity so then it can use more energy to hurt you again.
So I don't know if you can answer this, but what would be like the classic signs of like an attachment?
Oh, I know wolves. You me too.
Here's the thing that I tell people. Always assume it's natural. Always. Because even if it is actually attention you give to it, the more energy you give to that, the stronger that attachment becomes. When people come to me, they'll often say, you know, I've got the worst luck, I've got bad health, this is all brand new. You know, I think I have an attachment. Well, yeah, that is possible. But 98% of the time, it's just life happening to you.
Right.
Now, let us find out why you believe in paranormal. What paranormal phenomena has taken place? So, if I don't see paranormal phenomena, then I'm thinking it's probably not an attachment.
Right.
Yeah. Chris, what do y'all look for in a paranormal case? I mean, what's the classic signs?
I'm sorry, what's the what? The last part? I didn't catch that.
What's the classic signs for that y'all look for doing a paranormal case?
Okay. Well, that's really hard to define simply because, well, our questionnaire is many pages long because there's so many different things that can happen. And depending on where you are in the world, your cultural beliefs and your regional beliefs will shape the way that phenomena appears. For instance, a Hindu family is never going to be haunted by a Christian demon. It just doesn't happen that way. It's your beliefs that change the way the phenomena is shaped. So if it cannot be explained away natural, then we're looking at something that may be paranormal, but we have to delve deeper. That's the point when we really start to ask a lot more questions. Are we dealing with mental illness? Are we dealing with paranormal? Are we dealing with both? And that does happen a lot because, as I said earlier, there's always a reason why that one family or that one individual is more open than others. Often it's a teenager going through puberty, and therefore their emotions.
We'll take that out if you don't mind.
That attachment
This
is
ain't
easier because everything's
this ain't the time to do that.
More powerful. Sometimes it's depression or anxiety, or schizophrenia. Just because a person is schizophrenic doesn't mean they don't have paranormal phenomena.
Right.
And again, I'm certainly not saying that every single person that has paranormal phenomena is mentally ill. Definitely not saying that.
Right.
But there's something, and if we don't deal with that underlying issue, then unfortunately the phenomena can reoccur.
Right.
That's something I've learned the hard way.
I just recently watched a little episode of Oprah, and they had a child on there. I think he was about maybe 10 years old, and the parents had had him looked over by doctors and stuff like that because he was having these outbursts and fits, and he was having like feelings of wanting to hurt his family and stuff like that. So they put him on all this medicine, and it was so much stuff going in the home. The parents ended up separating.
No,
They ended up living
actually, it
in
was,
different homes.
3 years ago.
They separated the kids, and the child had went to Oprah's studio. So here's a child that's used to having these outbursts, and something stuck out to me. And he goes, because she asked him, she asked him like, "Are you angry now?" And he said, "No." He said, "I'm only angry when I'm at home." And I swear, I just thought, here's this kid that they probably think have all these mental problems, and it's really something paranormal that's going on.
That's certainly possible, but I
Yeah.
hesitate to try to diagnose that because I don't know the case.
Right.
Yeah. I would need a lot more information. What was going on in the home? Why is this child acting out in the home? Often one person in a family, and this is psychology, but one person in a family will act out.
Thank you, Wolf.
She asked me, "Are you angry for the family?" When things are bad, that child acts out, or that person acts out, because they're the one that it's showing the underlying problems in the house, and that's purely psychological. On the other hand, poltergeist phenomena and so forth often will manifest because of all of that high energy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, the date of that was
I've worked
April 4th
going through hell, but it was
of 2020.
Were psychologically going through hell, and they were manifesting all the phenomena.
Wow.
And there was a lot of phenomena. I mean, windows breaking, fires, starting by themselves, things flying around the rooms, black shadows, demonic figures showing and threatening. All of it was there. I remember the night I showed up. The first night I showed up in the house, the police had already been called a couple of times, and unfortunately, it had been put in the police blotter that the family had said that their house was haunted. And so when I got there were hundreds and hundreds of cars on that back street. And that's when I realized immediately, I was in college, and I immediately realized we always have to treat our clients like patients, and their confidentiality comes first, always. Because otherwise, we can destroy their lives.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, I've always heard, this is what I've always heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but you was talking about like a gateway. I've heard mirrors to be like gateways. Yeah, I heard mirrors to be gateways as well.
I think you're referring to portals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I just read an interesting article several months ago about NASA discovering portals of solar energy opening on Earth, and that they can map these out. It's something that I'm very curious to get a hold of that map. And I'm hoping it's a lot lively, and see if that's not also a place where hauntings occur. Is that energy helping these things to manifest? I don't know, and I'm fascinated by that idea because I do believe that quantum physics has a huge amount to do with the phenomena that we deal with the energy entities that we're interacting with, because they are intelligent.
Right.
The way they manifest is intelligent. But what they are, I don't know, because as I said, I've lived in over a dozen countries on 4 continents, 5 continents now. And the entities manifest differently in different places. So they're not just Christian demons or Hindu demons or Japanese demons. They are what they are in that location. Why?
Just off the places that you've investigated or you've lived or you've had experiences in throughout the world, what would you say is the most haunted place that you actually, have been in?
The most haunted place. Wow. I have no idea. I really don't. I mean, the places that have more firmly established history, lots more people have lived there, and more things have happened. You're going to get a lot of ghosts because they make attachments, especially places that have a lot of stone buildings. For instance, Europe or Asia, because stone retains the energy better than wood. Wood does.
Okay. I know that your grandmother had said in an interview that the Amityville house was one of the most haunted houses in the world. And
yes. Yeah, I've never been there, so I can't speak to that personally.
Yeah.
But from everything my grandparents told me, I know they never wanted to go back there.
It must be something.
As my grandmother put it, her words, it's as close to hell.
Oh my God. I would.
And I was talking to a man who told me, and he's an interviewer. He had a reporter who'd been in the house with my grandparents and had followed the owners for many years afterwards, all the different owners. And even though it's not talked about, it's not publicized, many of these owners have had a lot of problems.
Wow. I wouldn't want to buy it. I'll tell you that much. It just has
neither would I. And I've heard people say, "Oh, I would want to make it a bed and breakfast."
But then you would have so many people flocking there to get a room. You know what I mean? And then it's like you walk in into chaos and don't even know it, or it might be there. It might affect you, and it's like playing Russian roulette.
That's it exactly. You have no idea.
The interesting thing about the Amityville house that I read about was the first family, the Fale family, who
they weren't actually the first. They weren't actually the first. The house was built long before the DeFeos.
Okay.
Yeah, but the DeFeos had a lot of problems. Ronald DeFeo Sr., from all reports, was a pretty brutal man. And the family had a lot of internal problems with one another. So when things started to manifest, they had a fertile breeding ground. They had a lot of negative energy to grab onto.
The one thing that had really like kind of like, just floored me was the fact that when the murders took place in the DeFeo family, they, if I read correctly, that the family members were all found face down with a gun inflicted wound, and it was like as if nobody heard that first shot. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And that I'm just
and
like,
none of the neighbors heard it either, even though these houses were very close to each other.
and was it a shotgun?
Yes, it was.
So it would have to be very, very loud.
Yeah, it would have been like thunder going off in the room with you. Wow. Although one of the children was found outside the bedroom.
Outside the bed. And then I know the Lutz family moved in after that. And they had already knew about the history.
Well, guys, that's some of the interview me and Miss D, a good friend of ours, did with Chris McKenna. But guys, I'm going to end this one. I will see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care.